Pittsburgh at Las Vegas. When will Davante Adams be traded?
Man. When did you know what? Say week 7.
I just feel like it has to happen, man. Like, with what's going on with Josh Jacobs, he's looking like he's not going to be signed for very much next year. Davante doesn't want to keep losing. It's been a common theme. And I believe if the Raiders aren't 500, that he's probably just going to request a trade, because Jimmy G throwing 3 interceptions when he came here to play with Carr, it's just like this offense has talent, but it needs help from the line. It needs help from the quarterback play. I don't know if they believe in McDaniels. The Steelers' offensive line is below average as well, and the Raiders only came away with 1 sack. Like, come on. Like, you have to do more. I know it's Max Crosby, but like, you have Tyree Wilson. He's doing nothing. Like, they're graded in the bottom 20 in like almost all defensive metrics on PFF besides tackling. So it's hard to find bright spots on the Raiders. Like, other than like the obvious answers, like there's no good like bright spots that you can really look to. And I feel like if they don't perform, Davante tries to get out of here, and I don't really know what happens to McDaniels.
Well, yeah. So I'll start with McDaniels because, and again, I wish I did. I should have I should have just written this down. But I remember I heard something about how something with McDaniels right now in the locker room. Again, I wish I had more to say on it. I was something to the effect though of something with maybe him starting to lose the locker room.
Yeah.
Right? And yeah, you and me saw this coming from day one of the hire. I mean, this has kind of been the it's the Josh Daniels MO. It kind of it unfortunately has been very rigid guy, and when the results aren't there and you're a very rigid person, what starts to happen is there's a disconnect that grows, right? It's just simple. That's just simple human psychology, and that's exactly what I feel like is probably already starting to occur with the Raiders. And yeah, and also with Davante. I mean, when you play like he did, 13 receptions, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns. You're averaging 13.2 yards a catch, and the team's still losing. You have to play perfect to even keep the team in the game right now. The team is still not good. I'd say, yeah, if you're looking for a bright spot on the team, if you're a Raiders fan, it's Max Crosby. Other than that, there's obviously more, but it's like the Raiders, it's tough. And this was, again, I think when you looked at it objectively, though, you did see that the Raiders might have a really tough year incoming if things didn't go perfectly. And that's kind of the trajectory we're on to now.
Yeah.
It's like, but I'll move on to Steelers for a second.
Yeah.
On to the Steelers side of things. From the way that things started off in the year, I think every Steelers fan would say, okay, it's kind of like a sigh of relief. Like, yeah, Kenny P's maybe not showing you all the, the biggest jump you wanted to see. But on the other hand, he's showing you that, hey, look, I'm going to bounce back. I'm at least going to hang in there. I'll keep us, I'm going to manage the games. And, you want to see more. But I think what you'd like to see if you're a Steelers fan is that he's improved, I'd say, each game so far. And if he can keep that trend up, it's a good trend to keep up, and we'll see how far he can push it. Steelers' run game, though, definitely still pretty pedestrian. I think something I want to touch on is I saw that Matt Canada is now working directly with Kenny P week to week. And, when you first hear that, you're probably like, well, what? Like, doesn't he work with him every week? Certain NFL teams, everyone does everything differently. Sometimes, the way he works is obviously was much more behind getting the schematics, drawing things up. It was more QB coach, obviously, if all QB coach, how he was working with Kenny P at practice. Well, now Matt Canada is going to be directly with Matt. Matt's going to be with Matt, you know what I'm saying? Matt's going to be with Kenny P every single day at practice, a couple times a week, if not every day, I can't say, but at least a couple times a week, they're getting together, actually talking one-on-one. I think that'll help out a lot. I think we're going to see the offense start to look a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't know, just stable. Just a stable.
Hopefully.
You'll see what they're trying to do every week a little bit more. And the Steelers defense, that's the strength of this team. Those Steelers defense is still absolutely fantastic. Keanu Benton has just absolutely come out. And let me just say it like this. He was the second round D lineman for sure. And everyone else, everyone passed on Keanu Benton, and Keanu Benton was definitely first round talent. TJ Watt came back and is just playing absolutely ballistic.
Monster.
This D-line is fantastic.
So that was my main thing, is like the defense is obviously the strong point of this team and was all over the Raiders. They generated 4 sacks. They got 3 interceptions. But until this offense finds its groove, like they're going to have to win them games. The running game wasn't like horrible, but Najee and Warren both were kind of inefficient. 3.4 and 3.6 yards per carry. Not bad, but like not good by any means. The offense it was balanced. The run of the pass, nothing really shined though, besides like George Pickens and like Calvin Austin, I think has been pretty okay this year, like pretty good. Um, Pickett just kind of like we were saying, like kind of is what it is. Like until he makes that jump, like we don't know. I think the Steelers, it's funny because I think they have one of the most like solid rosters in the NFL, but it's just like, don't they just feel like they're underperforming like a tick or two? Like they really should be a little bit better, in my opinion.
No, yeah, they've been sneaking away with the wins, and then now absolutely like, and then we saw, like we said,
The
we
play
know halfway
calling is a
point,
lot
so-
of the problem, though.
right. No, and well, that's the thing is, and that's why I brought up the thing with Matt Canada. I think we gotta give that time some marinate, let it marinate a little bit, see if that helps out, and if that doesn't help though, and we don't see an improvement, oh, Matt Canada's got to go.
I feel like you have to fire Matt Canada.